Episode 1 of The Night Agent Season 3 starts with a flashback to a young Peter playing with his toys while his mum is on the phone with her doctor. She receives bad news but hides her sadness, and later asks Peter to always do the right thing, even when it's hard. In the present, we reunite with Peter in Juan Dolio in the Dominican Republic. He's actually there on an undercover mission to arrest a married couple selling stolen military blueprints from the Pentagon. He successfully wraps up the mission. He returns to the US and meets with Mosley. It turns out President Hagen has been deploying more night action agents, and the institution is feeling a little strained. Now Peter and Mosley worry that Hagen is compromised, and his move to deploy new night action agents might be an attempt to hide his compromising ties to Monroe, the broker. Even though Peter has closed 4 cases in 6 months, he doesn't really want to go back to New York. He wants to stay away to protect Rose. Now Peter has been working himself to the bone because he's anxious, waiting for Monroe to call. He also feels guilty for his role in how Hagen came to be president, and he convinces Mosley to give him a new case. Now Mosley tells him about the recent death of Benjamin Wallace, a supervisor at FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. They believe he was killed by one of his junior employees, Jay Batra, who then fled to Istanbul after stealing classified documents. Now while this is going on, we cut across to a commercial flight, which is Flight Pima 12, is brought down by a missile, killing all passengers on board. Now hours later, Peter finds himself in Istanbul, Turkey, following the semi-cold trail that Jay has left behind. He gets word from a restaurant owner and waiter that Jay was seen at the establishment a few minutes back. Whilst there, he notices a news report of Hagen offering his condolences and warning that he won't tolerate terrorism. Now after getting Jay's outfit description and his next destination, he quickly leaves. Thankfully, he spots a nervous Jay and trails him. He watches as Jay leaves an envelope at one of the train lockers at the Sarkeshi train station. Unfortunately, Peter is distracted by a woman in a queue and loses Jay. Now Peter heads back inside and waits to see who picks up the envelope Jay left in the train lockers. A woman shortly drops by and he follows her to a pub. He strikes up a conversation with her, flirts a little, and peeks at her details and the receipt. This leads him to her hotel room where he finds a ticket to a soccer match at Besiktas Stadium. While doing all this, he also gets a call from Catherine, who asks him to be careful after he debriefs her. It turns out the woman at the pub is Isabel, a financial reporter working for the Financial Register. Now Catherine and Peter find it odd that Jay is passing off information to a journalist while he should be lying low. They question whether he killed his boss, considering he had been an upstanding citizen until the fateful night his boss was found dead in his apartment. As expected, Peter follows Isabel to the soccer match and notices the men from the train station are there. Once Isabel meets with Jay and leaves, Peter makes his move. He approaches Jay and warns him about the men tailing him. He promises to safely get him out as long as Jay promises to give him the original classified documents he left at his house. Now Peter hands him his cap and disposes of his phone, and with the cheering crowd going wild, the two make their way out. Unfortunately, as they do, they run into Isabel, who recognises Peter and pushes him away, trying to give Jay enough time to escape. Jay makes a run for it, but as he makes it outside the stadium, he's actually captured by one of the assassins. The assassin brings him to the car and radios the others. Peter arrives before them and overpowers him. He then gets inside the car and they speed off. The other assassins give chase on motorbikes. Now a wild car/motorbike chase ensues with bullets flying around. Although it takes a while and a lot of improvisation as well, the team finally lose the assassins. Later, Peter calls night action and asks for an extraction. Unfortunately, with the institution spread thin, they are asked to wait until the following morning. Now Peter decides to book a place to spend the night, and as they walk there, Jay tells Peter that he didn't mean to kill his boss. Now apparently Jay had flagged numerous suspicious activity reports, which are SARs, involving large crypto transfers from American companies to an offshore wallet. He brought this to Wallace's attention, who asked him to drop it. A few days later, Wallace showed up at Jay's house, grilling him about the documents. Suddenly, Wallace drew out his gun and apologised, saying someone ordered him to kill Jay. A fight ensued and the gun went off. In a panic, Jay fled the country and took his hidden copies of the classified documents with him, since Wallace destroyed everything else. Jay also mentions that his cousin helped him settle in Istanbul and asked Peter to call and warn her that she is in trouble. Peter tells him they can't, as it will reveal their location. He offers to call someone from his team to reach out to Jay's cousin. Now Peter suggests lying low until they get a chance to retrieve the copies of classified documents Jay had initially claimed he left in his hideout, and this is when Jay reveals he had no other copies apart from the one that he gave to Isabel. Finally, they get to the house and Peter makes a call to Catherine and briefs her about Jay and Isabel having the documents. Now, Catherine agrees to at least give Jay the benefit of the doubt as they try to find evidence that corroborates his story. Jay takes his opportunity to use the landline to call his cousin. As time passes, Jay confesses that he is afraid that there might be no evidence to back his story up. Now, Peter assures him that he has been there and they will look into how to help him. Suddenly, the assassins pull up at their location. It turns out they traced them through Jay's phone call to his cousin. Now, Peter and Jay flee and hide in what looks like an abandoned building. Peter takes on the assassins while Jay finds the exit, and after successfully overpowering and killing the assassins, Peter convinces Jay to trust him. In the end, Jay opts to stay with Peter and return to the US. The next morning, a chopper arrives to extract Peter and Jay. Before boarding, Jay reveals that some of the classified documents hint that the Prima 12 terrorist attack wasn't random and that some American companies might have financed it. He believes the terrorist attack was allowed to happen for either a political or financial purpose. Just then, Peter receives a call from Monroe on his burner. Surprisingly, Monroe wants Peter to deliver Jay to him. So the new season of The Night Agent is here, and the first episode is pretty solid. Through the opening scene, we get a deeper understanding of Peter's moral compass and his dedication to his duty to serve. They take a refreshing approach by not focusing on his dad's betrayal, a topic that has been brought up a lot in the past 2 seasons. Right off the bat, we also get a sense that Peter is struggling mentally and using his work to deflect his feelings of isolation and guilt. He also relates to Jay's struggle because he was there in season 1. He knows how it feels to be accused of being a traitor and desperately trying to clear his name. Now, Monroe's return also brings up many mixed feelings. Obviously, Peter wants to complete the new mission, but let's not forget he is also working as a double agent to bring Monroe in. At least that was the plan at the end of season 2. Although the new mission to deal with the leak at FinCEN is intriguing, it'll also be interesting to see how the political conspiracy will bring President Hagen and Monroe down. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.